you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing.
You're called
stop
an
saying-
you've been called an anti-Semite more than anyone else's table.
Yeah.
And people would sit there and no, by me. I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that
you just say I should die?
That's what Republican Ryan Girdusky said to Mehdi Hasan, a journalist, while they were having a conversation on CNN about Donald Trump's Nazi-esque rally at Madison Square Garden. And I had to stop what I was doing to make a video about this because I was genuinely shocked to see it. And it's not that I'm surprised to see anti-Arab racism on national television because we've been seeing it all for the past year throughout the genocide, but to see it this explicit is pretty jarring nevertheless. And to make matters worse, he's going to play dumb as well and ultimately embarrass himself and then apologize half-heartedly towards the end. Let's listen.
You should not.
No,
Did you just say I should be killed?
No, I did not say that. No, I did not say that.
Hold on.
Did your guest just say I should be killed on live TV?
I said I hope
Guys,
you
let me just stop.
You said you hope my beeper doesn't go off.
Because you said I'm a big supporter
of the Palestinians.
of Hamas.
Guys, let me
said
stop.
Palestinians.
Are you a supporter
Am I
of
what?
Hamas?
No, of course I'm not.
Palestinians are
Then
not.
I apologize.
Are you a
Ryan.
racist, violent person inciting violence against
Ryan,
me?
Ryan.
That's disgusting.
That is completely.
Then I apologize.
Good
That
job,
is
CNN.
completely
Let's have first
out
block
of
say the
pocket.
Muslim guy
You
should
know
be
that.
blown
Then I
up
apologize.
on
Then I
TV.
apologize.
Don't say then I
Wow.
apologize. You literally.
I thought you said
accused
Hamas.
him.
I apologize.
You didn't think I said
No.
Hamas.
Yes,
I
you
said
did.
I'm supporter of
Yes, I did.
Palestinian
Yes, I
rights.
did.
Why? Because when you hear
What's funny
Palestinian,
is
you
Rudy
hear Hamas?
Giuliani said this
No,
yesterday,
because-
so you're a great guest to
Listen,
be here
All
to
right,
defend
I
Rudy
told
Giuliani.
myself
Give me
I
one-
wasn't going to
give me-
entertain
give me one
nonsense
second.
today, and so at this point,
This is what we're in
I
now.
can't
This
do
is America in
Here's
2024.
what I will say.
Forget the
Here's what
racism.
That's right.
It's I should
That's
die.
right.
I didn't say that. You
You
should
said,
die.
what does beeper mean? Don't give me your
I
fake
did not say
ignorance.
you should
Guys,
die.
Why did you say
guys,
with my
give me-
beeper
give me
go?
a-
So what did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper?
So what
I
did
said-
you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper?
No,
No, you didn't. You said, I hope your
Listen,
beeper
but
doesn't
like,
go off.
Ryan, stop
I'm just
talking.
At least
sorry.
have the guts to support your racist
sorry.
comment.
Hang on.
I'm so sorry.
Let her bring it back.
This is why yesterday's rally was disgusting.
Don't call us Nazis,
and
but I'm going to
outrageous.
threaten the brown guy as a
This is
terrorist
why.
and kill him.
Because I didn't ever say Donald Trump was Hitler. But do you know who stood on a stage yesterday and said, I want to come to the Nazi rally? I don't have to make up words and call you something. You're saying it for yourself. And what you just said
Kamala
right
Harris
here,
is a pimp
apologize,
handler.
but I will tell you, I don't accept that apology, and you didn't even
That's
say it to
fine.
me.
I didn't say it
that
to
was
you.
disgusting. But I can be offended when you don't even say it to me. I'm not Puerto Rican, but I was offended by what he said
Okay.
yesterday. And I'm offended that the former president and potentially future president would allow it and go for 12 hours and not say, I don't care. Because you know what? When Kamala Harris put out statements about switching up opinions, it wasn't good enough for Republicans.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you said it.
Why don't
'Cause
you take this back?
So the excuse was, oh, I thought that you said you support Hamas, not Palestinians. Right. You thought that he said he supports Hamas. Because of course you did. See, to these people, when they hear Palestinian, they automatically hear Hamas because they're unable to differentiate between Palestinians and Hamas because the way that they tell themselves that blowing up Palestinian women and children is acceptable is to just say they're all Hamas. So that's kind of how they rationalize it, and that's how they are able to live with themselves, basically, for supporting this genocide. But then he didn't even understand what he was saying because the reference to the pager thing was Hezbollah, not Hamas. But to them, it doesn't matter. All Arabs are the same, and they're all subhuman, according to these folks. Now, Abby Phillips of CNN, to her credit, did tell him to stop talking, and then she later issued this apology on air after that shitstorm ensued.
We're back here, and before we get started, I want to just address what happened in the last segment. And first, I want to apologize to Mehdi Hasan for what was said at this table. It was completely unacceptable. When we get this discussion started, you'll see that Ryan is not at the table. There is a line that was crossed there, and it's not acceptable to me. It's not acceptable to us at this network. We want discussion. We want people who disagree with each other to talk to each other. But when you cross the line of a complete lack of civility, that is not going to happen here on this show. It's a heated time. We're in the middle of a political season. We are 8 days from a presidential election. But we can have conversations about what is happening in this country without resorting to the lowest of the lowest kind of discourse. Want to address that, and I want to apologize to the viewers at home because we want to be able to hear each other, we want to be able to talk to each other, and we plan to do that in this next segment.
Now, credit to her for doing that, but I do think that this should be a moment where CNN and their hosts are a little bit introspective. First and foremost, bringing on guests like this who are racist, maybe don't do that in the future, we'll say. And the reason why you know that this individual is racist is because he was one of a couple of people on the panel to defend Donald Trump's Hitlerian rally, where his surrogates were talking about how Puerto Rico is an island of trash and how his black friend, I think he said, the same guy actually, Kill Tony, he said that him and his black friend were carving watermelons instead of pumpkins. So just out racism, not to mention a lot of other dehumanizing rhetoric towards Palestinians at that same rally by Rudy Giuliani. So you're bringing these people on and you know that they're racists, but to create this both sides, you have to bring on the racists so you can debate whether or not racism is bad or not. And I just feel like maybe that's not the best strategy for media, because the goal is to inform, not give us both sides, because both sides here are clearly not equal, right? If this were 1930s Germany, would you bring on one of the Nazis to debate the Holocaust just so you get both sides and appear neutral? I don't think you should do that. Now, second of all, here's the thing. The reason why that person probably felt really emboldened to say that on your network, CNN, is because all throughout this past year, throughout the genocide, we've had some good reports sprinkled in here and there, but we've also seen dehumanization from your network, from some of your hosts. Dana Bash of CNN compared the student protesters who are against genocide to Nazis. She did that. Jake Tapper has said very terrible things about Palestinians. So this network has helped to dehumanize Palestinians and normalize anti-Arab bigotry and Islamophobia. So I appreciate Abby Phillips trying to make things better, but what has she done within the network to try to rein in this racism, rein in this anti-Palestinian bigotry? See, this is the problem. This is one instance that you can point to it and say, man, this is really bad, this is disgusting, but it's systemic, right? This is a microcosm of a bigger issue, and Girdusky is just the tip of the iceberg. So many of these Republicans and pundits on CNN too, they hold this exact view. Anyone defending Palestinians, their life is meaningless. If Palestinians' lives are meaningless to them, they also think the people defending them are worthless. Hope your pager doesn't go off. I mean, the level of dehumanization here is so brazen, and we see it constantly. We are absolutely back to 9/11 levels of Islamophobia, and I think that's beyond a shadow of a doubt. I was very young when that period of time happened in our country, but I just, before the genocide, I thought, man, it's so nice to know that we've at least tried to move beyond that. But no, it's worse than ever, right? And that's me kind of being privileged as a white dude who doesn't have to put up with this. But as you see, and I say the same stuff that Mehdi says, right? I say all the time that this is a genocide. What Israel is doing is ethnic cleansing. These are war crimes. But do you think that if I were on the panel in place of Mehdi, he would have said that same thing to me? Do you think that he would have said he hopes my pager doesn't blow up? I take it that he probably wouldn't say that, and it might be because of, me not being brown. So the racism is absolutely brazen, and the context that this happens when you have this person who's defending what is effectively a Nazi rally comparable to the 1939 pro-Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden. That guy defending that, it's no surprise that he's going to say something racist. So it's just, I feel like this should trigger broader introspection for CNN, but I think people need to understand that these news outlets, they don't function to inform people. That's not the goal. Even though their title is news, they're businesses. Their goal is to increase profits. At the end of the day, that's what they care about, their bottom line. They don't care about informing people. So if anything, this is great for them because it's going to go viral. It's got people talking about it, like myself as well. But you have to understand that this is a broader issue, and CNN is one of many media outlets that engage in overt dehumanization of Arabs, of Palestinians, and I think that this is not something that should be tolerated. they need to rethink how they do these panels. If you are constructing a panel where you know two of the people at a minimum are going to defend Nazi-like rhetoric, that's your first problem. That's your first hint that maybe these people shouldn't be taken seriously. But that's all I had to say. I saw that clip. It pissed me off, so I had to make a video about it. And yeah, hope you have a nice evening. I'm sorry if I interrupted whatever you were doing with this horse shit, but I just needed to vent because that pissed me off. I will have a video tomorrow. It's ridiculously long, unnecessarily so for no reason, but nonetheless, I think it's an important video. And yeah, hope you'll check that out. See you all later.